prototyping. So what I'd like us to go through is what you put together by way of a prototype that can be presented to the client and acceptance criteria that can be given out to developers so that they can develop the solution. I think this is what we want to focus on. The other thing at the end of the meeting is to look at your internal IBL. I need to understand what you've been doing for the purpose of agreeing on the next steps. This is the 7th week, I believe, at least of us meeting. It should be your 8th week already. So it's within the rules for you to actually be assessed for the purpose of getting a grade for this external attachment and graduating. All right, so attachment is actually 12 weeks, but 8 weeks is compulsory and 4 weeks is, they don't talk about the 4 weeks, but they say it's 12 weeks, but they will accept 8 weeks because sometimes students take time to actually get these attachments. So 8 weeks is allowable. All right then, so we'll look at both the work that you were doing and then look at the recording of your log journal so that I can know or tell you what to do as the next steps before you can be assessed. Assessment may happen next week, but I'll let you know. You let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I can present my work.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right then, go ahead. Will you share your screen? You've gone quiet.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay, so after checking out on the logos and the inspirations you sent, I decided to come up with this font. It's called the Lita One. It's a very friendly font and eye-catching. It seems to resonate with the young people, the Gen Zs and the millennials. So this is what I have, but I plan on making it a bit more interesting and also the tagline. So, SocialBites, we have the problem statement and the solution. The problem statement is that restaurants in Dortmund have been relying on foot traffic and word of mouth to attract customers to restaurants. This traditional approach is tiresome and it limits the ability of restaurants to grow and to reach a wider audience, especially in this digital era where the youth are the tech savvy people. who mostly spend their time online. So we bring SocialBites, an online platform that changes this approach and solves this problem by providing a solution that helps restaurants modernize their customer engagement strategies by utilizing social media integration, on-demand bookings, food delivery, and community engagement features. SocialBites allows restaurants to reach a wider audience, particularly the Gen Z and the millennials who are active online and value digital convenience. This approach will help restaurants to grow beyond the limitations of traditional methods and attract new customers in a more efficient way. Then the third slide talks about the vision and mission of SocialBites. The mission is to provide restaurants with an all-in-one solution that simplifies social media engagement, improves customer interaction, and drives sales through advanced engagements, tools, and insights. The vision is to modernize how restaurants connect with their customers through social media, increasing their online presence, engagement, and ultimately their business growth. Then we talked about the mental model, which will assist our users which will help visualize how the users will think, their needs, and how they will interact with SocialBites platform. We have the three entities: the restaurant entity, the customer entity, and the services, who will use SocialBites platform to promote their services and to yeah, who will use SocialBites platform to promote their services and to attract new customers into restaurants. Then we have the low fidelity wireframes. These are basically the blueprints of our application. We have the mobile app wireframes. The mobile app will be used by our primary customers to be able to access services, the restaurant services, by making orders. And also the restaurants will be directly engaging with customers via their phones. So we can see in the first screen, we have the login button. We have the logo, then the login button, where the user is able to key in their credentials and to sign up and also sign in. The second screen is for first-time users, where they will be able to create new accounts. The third screen will involve the restaurant listing, which will enable the user to browse for restaurants in Dortmund. Users will also view menus. They will view the photos and videos of different restaurants. They are also able to view special offers and promotions offered, and they are able to leave their reviews after engaging with the restaurants. There's also the social media feeds button. We have the YouTube, Facebook, X, Snapchat, and Instagram, and other social media tools, which will enable customers to directly engage with restaurants by liking, sharing, and commenting. That's where they'll be able to interact with customers and to share their experiences. Then we have the next screen, which is the order placement. Once the customers have viewed what the restaurants offer, they're able to place foods. We have different options offered by different restaurants, and fast foods are popular foods, especially among the youth in Germany. You're also able to view the products. They're able to add the cart. They're also able to change the cart details and to update. They're also able to confirm order and to check out once they're satisfied. Once they check out, they're taken to the payment page, where the different customers will choose to either pay with mobile money, with cash, credit card, PayPal, or promo codes. They're also able to confirm payments. Once they confirm payment, they are taken to the order tracking page, where they're able to track their order. They're also able to see where the rider is on the map. They're able to see the delivery time and the address. And also the delivery man is also there to communicate with the clients. Then we have the web app wireframes. The web app wireframes will offer comprehensive dashboard for managing social media presence and tracking metrics from a desktop or laptop, making it ideal for detailed content management and reporting. As you can see, this wireframe, the SocialBites wireframe, web app wireframe, it has the dashboard, the analytics section, the content section, the audience and settings. The dashboard section displays an overview of social media accounts and their performance metrics, as you can see. Then the analytics section displays detailed analytics for each social media account, including engagement rates, followers, and post performance. As you can see indicated on the graph below, we have different social media and different engagement rates with the followers. Then the post performance allows the user to view performance of individual social media posts. The section also displays metrics such as likes, comments, and shares, as indicated below. And lastly, the audience section allows the user to view information about audience demographics and interests. We have the content creation section below, which allows users to create and schedule social media posts. The section contains a form of creating new posts, including fields of images, videos, and scheduling posts. We have the SocialBites treatment. This is not the logo, I forgot to update.
No problem.
But we have the color palette. We have primary black color for the text and icons. The white will be the dominant background color, and orange will be used to highlight important features such as buttons and interactive elements. Then typography, the choice of font is Lilita 1. Then we have the user interviews and surveys for both the customers and restaurant managers and stakeholders. Then we have personas. We have Lena Muller, she's 24 and she's a student. We have her goals and frustrations. Her goals include, as a student, I want to discover new restaurants in Dortmund. I want to look for meals which are budget friendly and convenient. I want to engage with restaurants and share my experiences on social media by liking, sharing, and commenting on posts. My frustrations, inconsistent information across different platforms and lack of timely updates. We have Thomas Schneider. He's 30 and he's a supplier. He wants an app that allows him to easily track and manage orders from restaurants, minimizing errors. He wants an app that helps him keep track of inventory levels and automatically alerts him when the stock is low, ensuring timely restocking. He wants an app that provides a seamless communication channels with restaurants so that you can quickly address their needs. His frustrations dealing with confusing manual order systems, inefficient tools leading to stockouts, and slow communication with restaurants. Our last persona is Sophie Wagner. She's 43 and she's a restaurant owner. Her goals: she wants to increase online visibility and customer engagement through SocialBites. She wants to monitor customer feedback and reviews to improve service quality. She wants to simplify the management of online orders and reservations. Her frustrations: limited integration with social media platforms for promotions, inconsistent app performance leading to missed orders or booking errors. Then we have the user stories and the acceptance criteria for customers. As a customer, I want to follow my favorite restaurants on social media through SocialBites so that I can stay updated on events and promotions. As a customer, I want to discover new spots and street food vendors through the app so that I can explore unique dining experiences. As a as a customer, I want to rate restaurants and leave reviews so that I can share my experience and help other customers make informed choices. Acceptance criteria for customers based on them based on customers following favorite restaurants. The customer can search for and select restaurants to follow. A follow button is clearly visible on each restaurant's profile page. Upon clicking follow, the restaurant is added to the customer's list of followed restaurants. The customer receives notifications for events, promotions, and updates from the restaurants they follow. The customer can unfollow a restaurant at any time and the action is confirmed with prompt. Followed restaurants are accessible by a dedicated section for release within the app. The second acceptance criteria is customers rating and reviewing restaurants. The customer logs into the account to access the platform. The customer navigates to the restaurant's profile page after completing an order. The leave a review button is available on the restaurant's profile page. The customer can rate the restaurant on a scale of 1 to 5 stars. The customer can submit a text review and has the option to upload photos along with the feedback. A confirmation step prompts the customer to confirm the review submission to avoid accidental postings. Once confirmed, the review is immediately visible on the restaurant's profile for other users to see. Then we have user stories for restaurant owners and stakeholders. As a restaurant owner, I want to integrate my social media accounts with the app so that I can easily promote my restaurant's events and special offers to a wider audience. As a restaurant owner, I want to set up and manage loyalty programs through the app so that I can encourage repeat customers and build a loyal customer base. As a restaurant owner, I want to streamline the ordering and payment processes for takeout and delivery so that I can minimize errors and ensure smooth transactions. Acceptance criteria for restaurant owners: inter- integrate social media accounts. The restaurant owner logs into the SocialBites and navigates to the settings. They select the social media integration option. The app displays a list of supported social media platforms. The restaurant owner selects the platforms they wish to integrate. The app prompts the owner to log into each selected social media platform. The restaurant owner enters their credentials and grants the necessary permissions for integration. After successful authorization, the app displays a confirmation message indicating the accounts are linked. Then we have acceptance criteria. Where restaurant owners want to manage loyalty programs. The restaurant owner logs into the SocialBites app and navigates to the loyalty program section. They choose the option to create a new loyalty program. SocialBites prompts the owner to set up the rules for the loyalty program, including rewards. Owner chooses the types of rewards offered, such as discounts, free items, or exclusive offers. The app displays a summary of the program for the owner to review. The owner confirms and publishes the loyalty. Customers see real-time updates. Then user stories for suppliers. As a supplier, I want to offer special discounts on bulk orders so that I can attract more businesses from restaurants. As a supplier, I want to list my products on SocialBites so that restaurants can view and order them easily. As a supplier, I want to track the payment status for each order so that I can ensure timely payments from restaurants. Then acceptance criteria for suppliers. When they offer special deals on bulk orders, supplier logs into their SocialBites account using their credentials, then navigates to the promotions or deals section in the supplier dashboard. The supplier then selects create new deal or add discount. The supplier specifies conditions for the deal, e.g., minimum order quantity. The supplier previews the deal to ensure accuracy. The supplier then publishes the deal to make it visible to restaurant owners. The supplier modifies or ends the deal as needed based on demand or supply. It then logs out of the account once done.
Just before you go,
Yeah.
a supplier, can you give an example of a supplier?
Yes.
What is an example of a supplier?
Someone who supplies orders in a business.
Someone who supplies what?
In a business.
In a base.
Business.
Yeah, but in this case, now I'm asking for a concrete example. You see what I'm asking?
We're talking about the suppliers in SocialBites.
Yeah.
They'll be working with the restaurant owners.
Yeah, but when I ask an example, I'm asking you to give me the example of the yes, the supplier will be doing. For example, you talked earlier of, let's say, the restaurant owner. So an example could be like KFC. You also talked of the mobile money service, you see. An example would be M-Pesa or Visa. Those are two examples. So now I'm asking for the example of the supplier so that we can get a sense of what they are doing. You see, this is the kind of question to ask because they will not look at this abstractly. They'll look at it concretely in terms of they'll try to visualize it on the ground. And because they're already out doing something, they'll have a clarity of what they're doing on the ground. I can give you an example of a supplier. It would be a courier service. Now, someone who is providing transportation services. So you can't, because that's just one type of supplier. Transportation services have a very definite user story, and you might want to be specific about it because if you talk of suppliers in general, it might not be translatable to your prototype in a meaningful way. But if you say it is a transport service supplier, then Yeah, that's a supplier of the courier services, but now craft a user story for the transport service so that it's quite clear. You see what I mean?
Mm.
That's more useful to the client, to be more meaningful to them anyway, than if we generalize supplier. So that you might want to rewrite in the sense of a transportation courier service. If there's any other important supplier we can think of, then we can add them. And all these stakeholders that we're now introducing are only in the pipeline of the big idea, you see, because there are many stories. But the storyline that we are concerned with is who are the, let's say, stakeholders within the big idea storyline. So the courier service is within that. That's fine. The restaurant owner is within it, and also the mobile payment service within it. So that's fine. You see, so we have the three featured. So that's okay. So far, so good. But that I observed seems to be very vague. So maybe you want to make it more specific. Okay, you can carry on. So,
Lastly, the high fidelity prototype.
mhm.
I have the visual representation and also the demo
Mhm,
in Figma.
mhm.
So the mobile app, according to the brief, it will offer convenient access for restaurant staff, enabling them to share content, engage with customers, and manage promotions directly from their smartphones. This feature facilitates real-time updates and enhances dynamic interaction on social media. Let me share it. Let me open it. Are you able to see the prototype?
Yeah, I can see.
Is it? So I came up with 8 screens. The first screen is here. You can see the logo, SocialBites. Basically, the registration. The first time users will be required to create an account on SocialBites. And for those who have already subscribed in the platform, they will directly log in. So here, when you click the create account button, the first time users will be required to key in their credentials, such as the full name, the email address, and the password. Then they're able to register, or they can directly sign up with Google option, as you can see below. Then once our users have been logged in to the platform, they are taken to the restaurant listing page where they're able to view different restaurants in Dortmund. For example, here we have this restaurant called Wenker's Restaurant in Germany. We are able to see the photo there and the time which is open. The users have an option to also visit the restaurant. We are also able to view other restaurants such as Zoom, Markt, Overcamp, and Losteria Dortmund. They are able to directly book once they're comfortable with their choice. If a customer wants to choose, let's say, Overcamp, they're able to click the button and they're taken to the map where they're able to see the location of the restaurant. Once they view, they are taken to this page, the order placement page, which has their profile at the top, the menu, and the search button, where they're able to search their favorite meals and what's available. Customers are also able to see the flash offers and promotions offered by different restaurants. For example, here we can see in this photo there's a flash offer of this meal. They're also able to view the menus and photos. Below, there's the social media engagement where the customers are able to engage with restaurants via social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, WhatsApp, and Snapchat. They are able to also share their experiences by liking, sharing, and commenting with other users. If a customer wants to order, for example, this brown rice, they're able to click and they're able to choose the method of payment. If they want to pay with PayPal or cash or Visa or MasterCard, they are given different options. Once a customer is satisfied with the option, they submit. After submitting, they're able to track their delivery. For example, here on this map, we're able to see a rider delivering the order to this destination over here. The client is able to see the delivery time and confirm the delivery address. He's also able to confirm the order details. The customer also has an option of communicating with the delivery person either by calling or texting to confirm the order. Once the client has received the order, they're taken to this page where they're able to give feedback. They're also able to rate the service of SocialBites and the service of the different of how the restaurants have served them. When they rate, they're able to give a 5-star rating depending on their choice and how the platform has served them. Once they send a review, they're able to log out, and when they log out, they're taken back to the main screen of SocialBites. That's what I have for the mobile screen.
Did you show the payment module?
Yeah, I showed it.
Maybe I missed that. Maybe just show it one more time. Oh,
Yeah,
this.
the payment screen. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. So if you choose Visa, it goes where? Or which one were you clicking on?
On any.
Okay. So click Visa. Let's say.
Yeah.
Right, fair enough. It comes here. So now,
Yeah.
yeah. So what's critical? So this is um the end user interface that we're looking at, right?
Yeah.
Like this story is for the end user,
Yeah.
that who's buying, the consumer. Okay. Now that means we need interface for the shop owner and one for the, let's say, rider, the supplier. We would need that, I think. But definitely we need one for the shop owner. The shop owner, we have to design his interface. The one for the rider, we may not have to design actually. We may not have to design. But when they log in, what do they see is important. So we need to have that. Okay, so there are three demos here. One for the consumer, which you have shown, one for the shop owner, and one for the rider who's registered on the system as well. Okay,
Yeah.
so I presume you don't have the one for the shop owner and you don't for the restaurant, and you don't have the one for the the story for the courier service, the supplier. You don't
Yeah,
have that.
yeah.
Okay. All right then. Okay. This is okay. I mean, it demonstrates in about 6 steps, which is fine for the end user, which is good. And if you do those two, then that now actually completes the work. This is good. You've come to the end for the first presentation with the client. But there's some questions I have. The first one is that in terms of presenting, are you able to present this in as a published file? It doesn't look like you've published this file.
I can share it as a link.
You can share it as a link.
Yeah,
Yeah. And the reason why I'm interested in that is because it simplifies the presentation. It only shows the mobile app, right? It doesn't show all the different screens.
yeah.
It just shows what the focus is at the time. Are you able to publish now, or you have to do that when you have time? I mean, it takes time. Are we able to see it now?
Actually, I've never published work on Figma. I just save the screens as PDF or share links. I've never published before.
Okay. So when you say share link, what is in the link? Like you can generate a link and show me what it looks like.
Yeah, I can just share it directly. Let me share it on the chat.
So what you're saying is I'll see exactly what you're doing on by sharing the link. That's it.
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. So we'll need to publish it so that what actually we show the client is just a clean mobile interface. Like you see this big one that's showing here, just that.
yeah.
That's what you see when you, yeah. But you can share with me in the meantime. What version of Figma is this? Is it the online version?
Yeah, it's the online version.
Okay. All right then. Um, the other thing is that we need to synchronize or at least harmonize the SocialBites logo across all these different presentations so that it's the one that you had presented at the beginning. I think the one you had done at the beginning is now professional. At least it's simple, it's readable, it's also the colors work, it's scalable. So it has all the good things. That's professional work, the one that you showed. Um, the font is distinct, although its weaknesses are that it doesn't have something memorable about it. You can read it, you can see what it's saying, but there's nothing memorable about it. It's not going to generate engagement. People will not talk about it in a way that, they give it a nickname or something because there's nothing there that's special that would create that engagement. So it's a good logo. It's done professionally. It's acceptable. Like for this stage of the work, it's fine because now the client might even change the name. So I'm quite happy with it. I wouldn't work on it any further until the client says, now this is the name. Then we start working with the client to come up with the exact logo. So far that's good because at least, the very least we do is present a professional design. So that's what you've done, which is good. And we just need to harmonize it so that the same design with the backdrop that you had some background there, is everywhere across the app. Then we're okay. Okay. This app interface is the color scheme, also the treatment. To me, looks professional. Again, so it's fine. Nothing about it is unique, but it's professional. It's like you're working with a template. That's what it looks like. But again, for this stage of the work, the greater emphasis is on the story. And as long as we have visuals that work, we're okay. We'll work with the visuals. The client might change the color scheme. And once the story is worked out, again, we can tweak now the layout more in a more unique way. But the idea with these tools is not to be flashy, but to feed the story so that the story and the visuals are working together. That's really the goal. So I'm happy with this one. I wouldn't change anything on it right now. I think for now it's doing what we want. The only thing I'd say is have the three stories so that we can make a three-way presentation and the client can see what we're talking about. Um, the one for payment, um, it has a short user story actually. You click, then it asks you to type in your details, and then you confirm that you've done it. Then it does it, but connecting to Visa's website. So there'll be a kind of preloader. The preloader is just showing that it's processing, and that's actually part of it. So it's processing, and then once it's done, it shows it's done, and it tells you what to do. For example, check your SMS or check your email to see confirmation messages or some notification. You see, so it has a short story because it's money. It's it's part of the whole thing. But it's the least important. It's fairly standardized. There's nothing new we're adding to that one. The one that is key is the ones you're doing, like this one that you've just done for the consumer and the one for the restaurant owner. Those two are the big idea is invested there. The other two are secondary. The one for the supplier, there are two suppliers. So you can say the supplier and the payment provider. Those two provide services. Those ones are important. They are important. They're part of the whole system, but they are secondary. So if you do the primary ones, that's enough. If you do the secondary ones, that's good. It's not so necessary. The client's not going to make a fuss on that. But the primary one is where the client's going to be very heavily involved. So I want to make a meeting with the client for this week and get feedback, have them, I'll do a presentation to them, we discuss so that we can now move to the next phase of this work. But I need to just show them what you've done in the way of what you've showed me so far. Much of it is technical, so um, not all this is client, but I'll pick the pieces that go to the client. The rest of it goes to developers who will be involved in the development of the code at the back. Like those acceptance criteria stories, those are not even user stories. Those are not for clients really. They're for developers who will now use that to develop the solution clearly. Okay, so I think in many ways the work is now at 96% done. Maybe what's left is the 4%. The corrections you mentioned and the ones we've just discussed. Do you have anything you want to ask on this, Nelly?
For since we have the mobile and the web app, am I also supposed to do the web app prototype?
Yeah,
Because
yeah. You also need the web. Stage of the work. What we're presenting actually is the big idea, and the big idea is a story. So we don't need to present two stories. We need to present one, and then the client's going to weigh in. When the client weighs in, there'll be changes to the story. So it's better that we present first, let the client weigh in. I'll tell the client there's a web app, but they'll weigh in on the story. If they see that the story is okay, fine. If they want to add changes, we'll respond to the changes and then we'll again present. So once the client says the story is working, that's when we'll now know the web app that we need. See, it's the better way to go rather than you doing it now and you're doing double the work, but when changes are coming, it's double the changes. No, let's just work on one platform. Once that platform is now harmonized and the story is agreed, the branding is agreed, the identity, the look and feel. Once that's agreed, then we can now shift our attention to the website because the web app because now the mobile app has been agreed on. So I think we'll stick here for now until we get feedback and we agree, and then after that we can move to the web app. Okay. So this one, once you do these corrections, I'm trying to tell you now, and they're small corrections. I see it as 4%. Then it's ready to present to the client. I'll just present it to them right after you tell me it's done. If we can agree on when you'll do them by, then that's good because then I'll tell the client we meet after that. What would you say? How long do you think it will take you to complete those corrections?
by the latest.
You said by Thursday meeting.
Yeah.
All right, so let's plan for that. Then I can now set the meeting soon after that with the client. And then from there we'll know the next steps. Okay, so on this is good. The next thing we need to discuss is your um, IBL in attachment, and your assessment is due for end of this week, I believe. But have you been filling out what you've been doing on a week by week basis?
Yes, I've been updating my journal.
You've been updating your journal.
Yeah.
All right. So where have you reached in terms of at the end of this week is week what? Are you able to know from what you've been writing?
At the end of this week, it will be week 8. So I'm supposed to feel till this week.
Yeah, all right then. So I would like an assessor to come and assess, okay? And I'll let you know after talking to them when it will happen. It will happen, let's say next week, because once you finish Friday, you'll compile a PDF of all your documents. So the documents are your log journal, which has 12 pages, 1 page for each week. There's the bit where you write in what you're learning. This is a learning exercise. Even though you're an attachment and working, it's a learning exercise within the workplace. So when you write in your details, you're actually writing in what you've learned. You don't write there things that you're not learning. And the stuff, because it's a learning exercise in IMD, you're writing in interactive media design things that you're learning. Okay, that's important. Don't see it outside the experience of learning, but at the workplace. So you summarize. So you write what you do every day, then you summarize for the week, and you sign. Then I will take that and I'll fill in the spaces for your. I'll be your supervisor. That means I'll be your trainer. That means I'm your immediate, let's say, supervisor. And then I'll also be your supervisor. That means I'm more of your administrative uh, supervisor. So there are two roles there. One for the, we can say, technical supervisor. That's your trainer. And the other is for your administrative supervisor, who is more of your, um, who looks more at the administrative issues. All right. So there are those two levels of supervision which I'll fill in for. And if you give it to me on Friday or even by Saturday, let's say, with the log journal, those are 12 pages. The cover sheet, that's a 13th page. And then at the end, you'll need to have what we call there are two questionnaires. There's one, which is a form for your administrative supervisor to fill out. Okay, that's a form. It's very different from another one, which is the questionnaire is an assessment that the assessor makes of the company and the environment within which you're working. Okay, so in total, you have 15 forms or pages, 15 pages. All right, 12 is the log journal, one is the cover sheet, and then two forms. One form is for your administrative assessment, and the other form is for the company assessment. It's called a uh, company questionnaire, something like that. Okay, so don't miss out on those 15 forms because the book will be incomplete without the 15. They have to be 15, and if they're there, then it's okay. Now, even though you have not done um, you've not done 12 weeks, you've done 8 weeks. So in your case, it'd be minus 4 pages, so maybe 9 pages in total because of the 4 weeks you've not done. But you can reflect them in the document if you want to do that. You don't have to. If you want to, you can. There's no harm. They'll be blank because we're talking about you being assessed after week 8. Okay. So the assessor will look at see it as a valid document. Okay. It's a document you can submit also, even with the 8 weeks. You can submit it once you're done with the assessment to the department. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Then. If it's clear, then you'll ask questions. I'm not sure if you want to ask something, but you can ask on that. You want to ask something on that?
No question at the moment.
No question. Huh? Okay. Um, then on let's say it's going to be on. Let's say, on Thursday, we'll have our meeting. Maybe we can agree. We can have the meeting at 6:30. Is that okay? 6:30. 6:30 to 7. Or do you want it later? We can have it at 7:30. 7:30 to 8. Are you there?
Yes, I'm back.
You're back. So we're going to set a time for our meeting on Thursday. Is it better for you 6:30 or 7:30? What's the best time?
7:30.
All right, so 7:30
Yeah.
7:30 to 8. Now, I have a meeting at 8. So if you say 7:30, try and come 7:30 so we finish by 8. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, yeah. Now, just to prepare you for it, so that you know, once we're done with this um, uh, social bites, I'll do a presentation to the client. But between you and I need you to, I'll give you folders where you'll upload the work. It's all pre-production work. So I'll create a pre-production folder with subfolders. So put in all the stuff that you have been working on into those folders. And I'll take from that and construct the presentation material I make to the client. So I'll make the presentation, but the client will precipitate another meeting after that. So I'll make the presentation, they'll go with it, make a presentation internally, they'll come back. When they come back, you need to be ready to attend that meeting. And if it goes in real time, let's say that they agree to meet on Friday or Saturday, then next week they'll be making their presentations. But it means maybe by next Thursday, they'll be now calling us for our second presentation. For that second presentation, I'd like you to be there to hear how the client is responding to your work so that you get a sense of the feedback from the client. Okay, there'll be changes, there'll be comments, there'll be a number of things, but we'll have to see how it goes. So that is part of the preparation you need to have in mind for next week. And why I'm also saying this is because um, now we're introducing the client. That's a third party. So in terms of timing, we'll now need to be more in sync with the client because now they're coming in as a third element. So we have to now commit to synchronizing our effort with them. So that's one. But the clients can also be slow. They can, depending on what's going on in their lives, in their business, they might be slow to respond. So instead of responding, like I said, by next week, they can respond in 2 weeks, can even respond in 3 weeks. So in the meantime, I'm going to give you a different project to work on, which is similar, just UX UI design, but for a completely different project for social impact. I'll explain that one on Thursday, and then we can again start the process that we've gone through with this one, with that one. It's the same process, really, but this one has a profit component in it. The other one has income generation, but it's not for profit. But we'll discuss it on Thursday so that we can start it as the next project while you're still here with us as an intern. Okay. All right. So I think this is good work, by the way. This is good. So I'm happy with it. I won't say much on it. I think this is now presentable to the client in the way that it is. So if you have anything you'd like to say before we stop the meeting, you can now tell me. Anything you'd like to add or even ask? You're there, Nelly?
No, I don't have anything to ask. I'll reach you by WhatsApp.
All right.